does this? Turn it to this!
Yes, when a VTuber gets big, they own the rights to the color palette and species of their model. And to be extra petty and childish, she tagged the artist of that model and the VTuber going, "Oh, this is for you." What kind of childish high school fucking catty mean girl bullshit is this? Thankfully, a lot of people weren't too supportive of this type of behavior. Girl, this is not it. Why are you being unnecessarily mean? Humor is my coping mechanism. Doesn't make it any less malicious. Just talk shit behind closed doors. Vent. I don't know, dude. I hope she never sees it so she isn't unnecessarily harassed. I tagged her so it's a little too late if she doesn't want to see it. So she's doubling down. She's doubling down on this bullshit. I generally don't think this is how handling an issue of this nature within the VTubing community should be conducted. But time and time again, we're really at an all-time low, huh? Anyone can be a VTuber now. I'm down in the trenches. What the fuck does that mean? Yes, anyone can be a VTuber. The software itself is free. Look at me. I drew this model on a piece of paper with a number 2 pencil, slammed it in the photocopier, watched some tutorials, and rigged this myself. Anyone can be a VTuber. Don't let this bitch tell you who can be a VTuber and who can't. Oh, this is a dumb take right here. Why, as an aspiring VTuber and content creator, would you ever want to be confused with someone else? I would never want to hear you look like X for my entire multi-year, potentially decade-long journey into content creation. She knew about you and proceeded anyways. Weird behavior. Well, you look like an idiot for posting this. Yes, these are 2 completely different models. Like, look, horns, different shapes. Ears, different angles. Hair, different styles. Outfits, completely different. Not even the same color palette, really. One has an ear piercing, one doesn't. One has a streak of dark purple in her hair, the other doesn't. It's just stupid. Bruh, oh, we got screenshots. Hello, Powder. I hope you're doing well. I saw your recent posts about how VTubing is taking a mental toll on you. And as someone who has been going through the same thing, I hope you can find the motivation to return to your love of content creation. I just wanted to quickly message you, as I have recently started on Royalty's model. And I remember showing it to you to make sure there's no similarities that could potentially make you feel uncomfortable. I've attached her work in progress. If there's anything that concerns you, please don't hesitate to let me know. Powder replies with, "Thank you for reaching out with me. I spoke with my OC designer and Kira about it. I got their feedback. I think it's best if I no longer see any updates about the model or the design moving forward." So, the artist made a very generous move in offering her to oversee the model's creation process. That's something that not a lot of artists would do. And then Powder says, nah. And then she gets upset when there's things about the model that makes her uncomfortable. She didn't really have any right to make decisions on the model design anyway. And she's going through the comments, doubling down. You actively ignored the communication they offered. You willingly said that you didn't want any updates on the model, even though they were trying to make sure you didn't consider it to be too similar, and you chose to leave that conversation. Also, holy shit, your entire shtick is joking about cocaine addiction. Is that what her name is? Powder? Oh my goodness. This little guy is junky. He's made of dust and cocaine. He's our mascot. Wow. I didn't know that. Oh, she triples down by making a video making fun of the people who called her out. Okay, so she made another post. Let's read it. Okay, sorry I'm a freak. I'm not well Sorry, I'm a freak. Oh my god, I can't handle this woman. I am not as well worded as most people on drama, so ignore if you don't care. This isn't about owning anything. This isn't about bigger account versus smaller account. This is a question about creativity and the lack thereof. This is a question about when do consequences start being too much. Well, when you triple down on a very shit take targeting smaller VTubers, then I think you'll be getting a lot of consequences. It's about being oblivious to the similarities and the possible consequences of how that makes someone feel. You are one to talk about considering someone else's feelings. An easily avoidable thing that went ignored when it could have been nipped in the butt early. Well, you're the one who chose to stop communicating with the artist who was designing the model. I can't control what other people do about my feelings, but I'm going to react in a negative way when I've been ignored and lied to about a compromise. You cut off communication. If you believe it's okay to just look like each other, then, well, I don't really understand your mindset. I want to see creativity. I want to see uniqueness. I don't want to push a narrative that it's okay for people to be just like everyone else. Look at the bigger picture and stop focusing on one emotionally driven decision I made. I mean, you kind of made several emotionally driven decisions at this point. So, also, the VTubing sphere is very oversaturated. Anyone can be a VTuber, like I said. So naturally, there's going to be a lot of people who have some similarities. I mean, look at how many pink-haired cat girl VTubers there are. It's almost impossible not to run into anyone who has a similar species or design. I always try to keep it 100% with y'all, and I don't want to half-ass an apology if I'm not feeling apologetic just to appease a very emotionally charged crowd on Twitter. Thank you to everyone who has reached out to me privately. I'm lucky to have you. Alright, this is done. This is it's not even an apology. This vague post was made because the comparisons did not stop, and it was a message to others that I was aware and tried to talk. I would never have dropped a Google Doc, TikTok, or DMs if I hadn't been specifically called out by the artist and VTuber. I just want to come out and say that I'm aware there's another VTuber in this page with a similar design, color, and or name. I have already made efforts in the past to communicate with both the artist and VTuber, and then you decided to cut contact with them. Oh, I'm sorry, I want to add that if you've already written off my feelings because of that dumbass TikTok, I've personally written off your feelings because you targeted a smaller VTuber for having the same species and color palette as you. And I can't prove myself to you anymore. I've shown you everything I can, and I'll drop everything here and say my last final piece. Great. A non-apology for basically attacking two people for no reason except, hey, you copied me, wah. How hard is it to just be a decent person? And after you fucked up, you thought being a sassy bitch was gonna make you look better. Newsflash, it didn't. I don't care about looking better. The way I deal with my emotions is not for everyone. Well, I'm fairly certain that letting your emotions needlessly harm other people for no good reason is not for anyone. People being disingenuous as fuck saying the similarities aren't clear as day. Clout chasers are exhausting. I'm sorry. You have white hair and purple eyes too. Shut up! I can't take these hypocrites. I'm done. I'm done. I've made my opinion clear on this matter. Of course, after I stop recording and shut everything down, Powdur replies to me on Twitter. Powdur responds with, that's totally fine for them to have. Then why were you throwing such a bitch fit in the first place? What the f